Welcome to the ECS Videopodcast. In today's episode, I like to welcome Julien Bossu, Business Development Manager for ArrowSphere for our cloud platform, coming from Hungary. Thank you very much for your visit in Vienna today. Welcome, Julien.
Thank you, Heribert. So I am Julien Bossu. I'm based in Hungary, but I'm French, and I'm in charge of the business development for ArrowSphere, which is Arrow cloud platform. And I joined Arrow 2 years ago, and before that, I was working during almost 15 years on the telecom market and on the SaaS market for telecom operators.
So great to have you here, Julien. Today is the day to talk about ArrowSphere. ArrowSphere is our cloud aggregation platform, which we have since a couple of years in the Arrow ECS organization. So maybe you could give us an introduction. What is ArrowSphere?
Sure. So ArrowSphere is considered as a marketplace, but it's not only that. So in fact, it's a cloud platform which is allowing to manage the licenses life cycle. So it will allow you to manage different vendors, to manage the prices, to manage a lot of information, to have a lot of dashboards, and to facilitate the experience of our partners to distribute a lot of SaaS vendors. So about ArrowSphere, so it's what's interesting to know. It's a solution which is proprietary of Arrow. It was developed by our teams. We've got a bit more than 100 developers working on it. They are based in Europe, so it's a European solution. It was launched now exactly 10 years ago, and we've got good success because we've got today more than 10,000 B2B partners who are using ArrowSphere in Europe.
So it's a tool for our partners. Can you tell me how many vendors do we have on ArrowSphere currently?
Sure. So today we are working with the main vendors who have offers available in SaaS. So the biggest one is Microsoft, but we've got all the big names. We've got VMware, we've got Red Hat, we've got Citrix, we've got a lot of security vendors. We've got all the hyperscalers from Azure, AWS, IBM Cloud. We've got even some European players now, like Exoscales, which have data centers in Austria and Switzerland. And we are bringing on a regular basis new vendors which are making sense for our partners. Like today, we've got voice over IP solution connected to our Teams offer in Microsoft. We've got DevOps as a service offers. And we are already discussing with new vendors interesting to join the catalog.
All these vendors you mentioned, or many of these vendors you mentioned, they have already some dashboards, some partner, some possibilities for the partners to log in and manage their accounts. So why should a partner choose ArrowSphere?
So for these partners, the main advantage is the simplicity. You will have everything at the same place, on the same tool. So from this cloud platform, you can manage your vendor. You can have a view on all your vendors. You can have a look on all your end customers. You will have dashboard aggregating the consumption of all of these players. We are also delivering a tool for your end customers, which can be customized by the partners, which is integrated also to ArrowSphere. So it's a complete experience. And one of the main advantages is that Arrow is taking the responsibility of the API integration with these vendors. Mm-hmm. So if you are talking about Microsoft, for example, which is quite a complicated vendors in terms of API and changes, we are taking the full responsibility. So for our partners, they have access to our portfolio. We are making and taking the responsibility of all this complexity. And at the end of the month, we are delivering a single bill. So we are charging our partners. You don't have to receive a bill from each vendor. So you don't have a condition which are very different. So it's simple. It's one API for all the vendors. It's one single marketplace where you can purchase whatever you want. And at the end of the month, it's one single bill. So it's really something simple. It's something automatized, so everything is working through API. And at the end, it's also generating savings because you don't have to develop or maintain a platform which is complex. Everything is already available and usable in a quick way.
Okay, so we will come to the partner possibilities in integration in a second. You mentioned Microsoft is our largest vendor on ArrowSphere. So we saw with Microsoft, we saw a couple of changes the last year with this NCE and so on. So especially for Microsoft, what can a partner do with Microsoft on ArrowSphere?
Yeah, so first of all, you are right. So Microsoft, I think it's one of the most complex vendors. That's also the reason why ArrowSphere was developed at the beginning. It was really, so at the beginning, it was to support the CSP model from Microsoft. Today, the complexity is growing because they are changing all the rules with introduction of NCE. So last year, they started with a new Azure. In January, they launched NCE to replace the CSP legacy offer. So because we have a very good relationship also with Microsoft R&D, we were always the first one ready when Microsoft was releasing this kind of new taste of new flavors of Microsoft. So what we can bring for a partner with using ArrowSphere, they don't have to deal with the complexity of the API changes from Microsoft. The billing part also was often an issue. So in the CSP legacy, it was a prepaid model by Microsoft, which was not always copying with the real consumption, which was corrected at the end of the month. So we made a model which was simple at the end of the month at this time, which was based on the real consumption. And now with this NC model, it's always, everything is going through ArrowSphere, so we've got the real consumption, and we are making from something complex, something easy to use, and for the end customers of our partners, by a single click on our interface, they can provision immediately, in a few seconds, the licenses which are available on their portal. So it's something which is very quick and which was really tailor-made for Microsoft. And we are recognized today by Ronnie Clark, for example, which is with the channel VP from Microsoft Worldwide, as the platform fitting the most the needs of NC.
A lot of differentiators for the partner, a lot of value we are generating for the partners. You said before the interfaces, which we always have to maintain and keep an eye on it, as not only Microsoft but many other vendors are changing their APIs and the field descriptions or whatever all the time. But if a partner wants to use also some automation with ArrowSphere, so let's say we have an MSP who wants to sell Microsoft, VMware, and some other vendors through the ArrowSphere platform, how can we make the life of this partner easier to help him to push the automation through the whole chain?
Yeah, so first of all, we've got in ArrowSphere, we've got some APIs, which are open APIs, which are available on ArrowSphere. So you've got a dedicated page on our portal where you will have access to all the API which might be necessary to get integrated with your environment. So we've got the possibility to get integrated with your the partner's ERP. We've got the possibility to be integrated with the partner's end customer portal if they've got one. And we've got, of course, this integration with all the vendors. So we are giving access to all our APIs. So if a partner has the capacity, the time, the resources to build some integration or automatization around ArrowSphere with our API, they are free to do it. And we can do it also for them and help them. And of course, as you say, we've got We've got vendors like, of course, Microsoft, VMware, or this kind of vendors. So the idea is to be able to, so either to build bundle solution which might integrate several of them, or to make it easy for their end customer to subscribe to this vendor. So the experience, it's a marketplace experience. You will have a cart, you got a catalog, you've got all the 50 or 60 vendors available, and you put in your cart, I want these licenses from Microsoft, I want this McAfee antivirus, I want to have a backup for my mailbox, and I want also to have some AWS storage. You put everything in your cart. The provisioning is automatic, and then you have a possibility also to play on the level of discounts for your customers. You've got the possibility also to give some alerts, to create some alerts. So if you are on subscription mode, for example, on Microsoft, you will have alerts at the, let's say, 1 month before the end of the subscription in order to let the sales team sometimes to contact your end customer to propose another license or to present the new possibility and a possibility of upgrades. So it's quite a lot of possibilities around it.
What about if a partner wants to add his own services, he wants not only to sell licenses or the subscriptions, wants also to sell his own services as an add-on to the license business. Is this also possible?
Yes, and that's why, so when we say ArrowSphere, it's a marketplace, it's not only that, and it's really a good example because it's a platform which is totally open. So of course, we've got a catalog, a portfolio, which is available for our partners. They can purchase from us. First point, if they don't want to purchase from us, let's take the example of Microsoft. They can have a direct agreement with Microsoft to buy the licenses from Microsoft, but still transact these licenses into ArrowSphere, benefiting from all the advantage and features of ArrowSphere, so the automatization of the provisioning, the dashboard, the analytics, the real-time view, all this information, except the billing because the relationship is direct with Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So this is something which is possible without buying from Arrow. The second possibility, they can still use ArrowSphere as a platform, as a channel tool, or as a platform tool for their own purposes with their own licenses. So let's take an example of a company which will have this own solution. Mm-hmm. So we can take an example, for example, of one of our partners, which is Telenor, a big telecom operators. So they wanted to use some SaaS offers which are not ours, which are not something we are reselling, something they are using only for their customers. So in this case, they will create an offer in ArrowSphere, which will be called by the name of the partner. So it could be Telenor, it could be the name of any company. And when the end customer will go on our marketplace, he will have the possibility in his cart to check, for example, I want Microsoft, and I want to have, so they will click on Telenor, let's say the DDoS offer from Telenor. I want to have a training. I want to have an AWS certification with the training. So you can add any kind of SaaS offers in this. So the way it's working, it's quite simple. We've got what we call a vendor portal. So our partner will also become a vendor because he will put this inside his own offers. It's a portal where he has a possibility to describe, to put the marketing information he wants about his offers, so he's free about it. So we can make a description, a short description, a long description, to insert some videos, for example, some marketing information. Mm-hmm. He will describe the condition to subscribe to his offers, if there is any, if there is need to have a certification, if you have a need to have already some other vendors purchase before having access to this solution. And then it will be just available for the end customer, and he's totally managing it by himself without us. He doesn't need to pay for the integration of his own offers. As soon as he got this vendor portal, he can add the SKUs of all the solution he got. So we've got another one, which is a software vendor in France, They have already onboarded 5 of their own solution. So it's mailbox protection, it's DDoS, it's security, it's training also, e-learning. So they've got for their end customers the possibility to order Microsoft, they got Microsoft from us, VMware, Red Hat, and their own solution. So for the end customer, there is no visibility that it's coming from us, it's coming from them, and they've got totally the management of the solution. So it's something which is also a very interesting tool, because for this kind of partners, they don't need to invest in a platform. And usually today they are doing it in the traditional way. So they are receiving a mail with a PO. They need to send a license key by email or something like that. It's taking time. Now with this solution, everything can be automatized, and the experience is very fluid and it's very simple. So it's something which was coming this year. So which is quite new, and we are very happy about the attraction we got around this product.
So you were talking a lot about the end customers. So maybe you can explain a little bit on the end customer portal. It's called My Cloud Portal.
Yes.
This is where the end customer has an access to and can what do there?
Yes, exactly. So yes, just to summarize, so you are right. You've got ArrowSphere, which is our cloud platform, which is a B2B cloud platform. So it's only used and dedicated to our B2B partners. Then we have developed a white label solution called My Cloud Portal, which is a web portal connected through API to ArrowSphere, and which is totally customizable by our partners. So our partners will rebrand our portal, which will be let to the end customer, and the end customer will have access to the catalog of ArrowSphere or a part of this catalog. It's a choice of the partner to decide to push everything or a part of it. So let's say if they want to sell Microsoft, maybe on small partners they will just push 10, 15 SKUs, the most sold offers from Microsoft. Maybe if it's for partners which are more focusing on security, they will not put Microsoft at all and only security offers. So you've got this flexibility. And for the end customers, when he will get connected to this portal, he will have a view on the catalog you are allowing him to see. And then he is able to have exactly the same experience as if he was using ArrowSphere. So he can order, put in a cart. It's automatically done through API. So if he's ordering some 5 seats from Office 365 licenses, everything is automatic. The provisioning is automatic, and it's available immediately on his side. So it's a tool which is very useful because a lot of partners were spending a lot of time to manage small orders. So today, with this kind of tools, it's really making the life easier for our partners. And these tools can be used by end customers, but we've got also very big partners like telecom operators who can use it also for their sales force. So the sales team from these telcos will have access to the My Cloud Portal with a limitation of offers depending on the kind of end customers they are focusing on. And they will order it to ArrowSphere. And then you've got also the possibility, but it's an option, to have a validation process from the management. So you can have a central manager which will receive all the requests from the sales team. You can put a limit. So for example, above 10 seats or 10 licenses ordered, we want to put a validation just to prevent any mistake. Or if you don't want to put any limit, it's also possible. So you've got the possibility also to control what is coming from the end customer. And a tool which is also it's a tool also which is offering options to work on the other way around. So for the partner, you've got what we call the communication tool, a communication manager tool, which is allowing the partner to push messages, to push marketing information to the end customer. So he can have a banner with a link he can click on to go on a web page, to go on a promotion page, or just to share information. And it can be done for all the partners at once, for a selection of them, for just one of them. So it's also a tool which is working for communication and to build a stronger relationship between the partner and the end customer.
You mentioned it before a bit. the advantages for the partners and also for the end customers. So how are we tracking, how are we helping the partners to keep an eye on their consumptions? Because this is a topic we hear on each and every meeting with MSPs, especially on this on the hyperscalers. You immediately lose the traction or the visibility on your consumption. So you never know where are you today, where will you be tomorrow. So can you explain something what we are doing here on
Sure,
ArrowSphere?
I think it's a very important point on ArrowSphere. So we have developed a lot of dashboards to help to monitor the daily consumption of all the licenses. So really, ArrowSphere it's a licenses lifecycle management. So for example, if you are in EAS, so if we are talking about the hyperscaler like AWS, like IBM Cloud, like Azure, like Exascale in Austria, you've got a menu where you are able to select this hyperscaler. You can select the end customer, you can see all the end customers, and for all of them, you will be able to have the consumption in real time. You will be able to know which kind of services from this hyperscaler they were consuming, if it's virtual machines, if it's networks, if it's storage, databases, and you can read per end customer. You've got a visibility of the consumption of the previous months. You have an estimation of what will be achieved at the end of this month. And based on that, we've got the possibility to define alerts when you are reaching a certain percentage of the budget. So this is for IaaS and for SaaS, for all these licenses. We've got also tools which are allowing you to know in real time what is the consumption, for which end customer. If you are going to Microsoft, you will see also every month how many seats you have lost, how many seats you were winning. You can see it by end customers. You can have the split for Microsoft of all the type of licenses which were purchased. So once again, based on the revenue which were done on the previous months, you can have an estimation of what will be the revenue achieved in your current months. So this is the kind of information you could have. And then concerning the billing, so once again, the billing tool is using the real consumption you are doing, because each time you are ordering a seat, it's recorded in the platform, it's a real consumption. So all this information are available. If you are in tier 2 mode, if you are purchasing from Arrow, it's easy. All this information will come from ArrowSphere. And all this information, the dashboard, the billing information, you can export them on a different format. It can be exported on a PDF. You can use it through APIs. So all this information can be available for our partners. It can be integrated with their ERP, so we can bring all this information.
So the partners do not need a credit card to buy through
No,
ArrowSphere?
not at all. No. At the end of the month, you will receive a single bill, including all the vendors. You will have the details of all the consumption, and everything is visible daily on ArrowSphere. So no more credit card, it's finished. Okay. We are in the cloud world, so it's it's easy.
Julien, we talked a lot about the ArrowSphere, the aggregation platform, but we talked what partners can do with their own services. We talked about MyCloud Portal, but there is also some different flavor of ArrowSphere, which is called ArrowSphere as a service or ArrowSphere as a platform. Maybe you can give me some details on what are we doing here for, let's say, big customers, telcos, in our ArrowSphere offering.
Yeah, so yes, ArrowSphere as a platform, or we can also sometimes call it ArrowSphere as a channel as a service tool. So it can be used as a marketplace, so a place where you can purchase from us or someone else and resell. But it can be used also as a tool, as a platform, without buying any vendors from us, but to manage your own solution. So in this case, it can be either a tier 1 model we were talking about before, or for your own software or SaaS solution or services you want to sell. So it can be a tool, for example, used by the procurement of a big company who will think that, okay, to manage the different licenses we are purchasing directly from different vendors, we will need to develop a platform, we will need to maintain a platform, we will need to make the API integration with the different vendors we want to use. Of course, there is a cost associated to that, which is quite significant. So at the end, one of the solutions will be to use a solution which is on the shelf, which is already available on the market, which is widely deployed. So it's not something new and tailor-made, where each time you will have a problem, you will have to call R&D, will have to do something complicated. It's something available, so they could use this tool, which is working, and put inside this pipe, in fact, whatever they want on it, whatever they want, as long as it's SaaS or IaaS, not yet hardware, even if for some project we can do it. But in this case, yes, we are proposing our ArrowSphere platform empty, and they can fill it with their own solution, and they've got a solution which is working well, and they can use immediately without any development, and they can sell their own solutions to their end customers very quickly. So time to market is immediate.
So it's a good model for big companies, for telcos, which need to have the setup for their internal cloud, whatever offerings, purchasings, etc.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I think it's an important point. So ArrowSphere, it's working from the small VAR, which will be interested to buy a few licenses because it's simple, to the biggest player. So when I say the biggest player, today we've got in Europe a bit more than 20 telecom operators who are using ArrowSphere. It might be for Microsoft, it might be for security, it might be for their own solution, because it's making their life easier. So if we are taking the example of some Nordic telcos using ArrowSphere, because we are taking charge of the API integration with the vendor. Because the platform is a platform used by thousands, 10,000 B2B customers, it's really robust. So this kind of companies, they can reallocate some resources on other things. It's the same for the sales aspect. So the salespeople who had to call the SMBs to take an order for 2-3 seats and receive on the traditional way a PO by mail. It's finished. You will have the MyCloud portal, for example. They can put +1, +2 on the portal. They will have the license immediately. And these sales resources can focus on hunting new customers or this kind of things. But some of the big also Microsoft tier 1 partners today are also moving to ArrowSphere. Still in tier 1, they are still keeping the direct relationship with Microsoft, because the platform is simplifying their life in terms of integration. So once again, saving time and money on FinOps cost, on operational cost. You don't need to keep your DevOps team to manage integration with API, to make the support of the platform. Everything is in our hands, and they are just paying a small fee for that. So at the end, they are saving a lot of money.
So it's designed to help our partners, to help the customers. When customers, MSPs, big telcos, and customers want to know more about maybe some references or get in touch with some customers who already use it, I think we can address them and help them to get in touch.
We've got different level of references. So we've got, as we are starting to discuss at the beginning, we've got very different profiles. So we can have VAR. So in the countries, it's easy to discuss with the local team of Arrow, who will put you in contact with some VAR having the same kind of profiles to share the experience. Then we got big ones like telco. So we've got a club of telecom operators which are using ArrowSphere, who are open to exchange about their experience. So you were talking about Telenor, we've got Telia, we've got SFR, we've got Altice Portugal, So we've got different names like that. They are eager and open to share their experience, and it's a win-win discussion because discussing with these big players, it's helping us also to develop new features. It's helping them together, to exchange the best practice on the market. And we've got also the experience of the tier one. So we've got also some big tier one players. We've got recently some new one in Spain, like ODM. They are also open to exchange about the experience they've got with the platform. We've got some more also in the Nordic. So yeah, they can share these experiences. We've got also big partners like SCC in UK, which is a big IT, one of the biggest IT company in UK. They were one also the big Microsoft reseller in UK. They moved from tier 1 to tier 2 to ArrowSphere. It's what we said at the beginning. It was bringing a lot of simplicity. It was simplifying their life. The first year, they increased their business on Microsoft by 250%. So this is a kind of company who are eager to share their experience. By the way, they made a video with Microsoft, a testimony about their experience with ArrowSphere. It's available also on YouTube. And so we've got different profiles of partners, so big IT company, telcos, big tier one, some VARs. So we are ready to organize some discussion with them. And usually, when they were using other platforms or their own platform, they can really justify the reason why they moved to ArrowSphere because the difference with what's existing, what's the standards on the market is huge.
So the ArrowSphere teams, the cloud teams in all the countries are aware on any functionalities, features we have on ArrowSphere. We have you and your colleagues from the dedicated ArrowSphere team in Europe who are supporting us in the countries and our customers, our telcos everywhere. So thank you very much, Julien, for your support.
Thank you,
thank you much for the explanations. Whenever there are any questions, feel free to contact our sales teams in the countries, contact your local guys from Arrow. Thanks for your visit in Vienna,
You're
Julien.
welcome.
All the best and all the best and good luck for the future.
Thank you, Eric.